Today I'm going to be making chicken fajitas. I don't know. I went to Trader Joe's and that's like my new obsession. It's just so good. Like, the ingredients are good. They're clean. The staff is so nice and it's cheap. I don't know why I didn't go sooner. I'm doing that. I always wear gloves because I have sensory issues and I don't like things on my hands. Shout out to Microflex. My husband sells gloves in the Snap-on truck, so it's very convenient. For the longest time, I didn't want to make any videos because I thought my kitchen looked like a trap house, and it does. But who cares? When we moved in, this house was really pretty, but there was a lot wrong with it. So we corrected things with it, and we're just not done yet. And I have a brand new kitchen in my basement, and someday it'll get done, and it'll be very nice. And until then, who cares? I have a warm bed to sleep in. I have all the animals I want. Like, life's pretty good. If this is the worst of it, then fair enough. I am so sensitive to cutting onions. So I guess I should start with my like culinary school stuff. Maybe that's a good story to get into. I did culinary trade school in high school. And I felt like I was going to be a star. I like grew up obsessed with Food Network, like 30-minute meals. I got accepted into an advanced program, long story short. So I did high school, graduated from that program. And I was going to do this like advanced program where I got my 2-year degree, in 1 calendar year. So I started college, a week after I graduated high school, and it was too much, and I had a breakdown, and anxiety started, and just trauma from school, and I left, and honestly, it was the best decision ever, because I meant to work with animals, but I learned so much in culinary school, and I got these nice knives, and it's a good thing, because now I have really bad wrists. I've had 3 wrist surgeries, and I can still do the grooming. I don't know why I threw that last one away. I always put these in soup after. So I can still do the grooming, but there's no way I could cut, like, things that I used to do and, like, be fast with, I can't do anymore, so that's fine. I can still do enough. I have so much to talk about. I feel like, because, like, everyone's just getting to know me, and hardly anybody's even watching yet, but who cares? I have a connective tissue disorder, too, that I've had since I was a baby, and so my body hurts all the time, and my wrists are bad, so some things I do are modified because my wrists are tough. Something I've been doing for a long time, that's weird, because onions are really bad with my eyes. Like, I cry if the onions are really strong, and it burns, and I, like, can't breathe. So I do a lot of cutting with my eyes closed. So I try to think of, like, you know, what it would be like if I was blind, and then now I have this blind cat, and even more than ever I do it. I've never cut myself. When I was in culinary school, I had this chef, Sweeney, and he told us how to put our fingers. If you put your fingers, you know, line them up like this, he's kind of like a little dinosaur. Never cut yourself. You just go by your feel. You got your knife, you got your fingers, you got your space in between. I don't know if that works for everybody, but it's like this little quiz I do for myself. And when you're cooking at home, like, who cares if the onions are perfect or not? And then my eyes don't hurt as bad. So, you know, I used to be able to, and I just can't anymore. So, I don't look as cool as I once did, but, like, not bad. Not about the speed, but I just wanted to show how cool I could be. So, the onions are just about done. And then we'll do the peppers next. I literally hate cutting onions, but they're so good. I'm glad my eyes haven't started, but sometimes they start after, and I like, and Ryan's in the living room like, so annoying. We made this in our wood shop. We haven't done woodworking in a long time. Like, we just go, Jester, the cat just knocked something over on himself. Yeah, here comes the onions. So we do a lot of different hobbies, and woodworking is one of them. Another cool thing I'd like to talk about, because we've done some neat stuff. And so we went through this phase of making all these cutting boards. So if this one, I've damaged a lot of them with water. This one is one of my favorites for the meat. It's got the little like juice things. We gave for Christmas one year these gorgeous like 3D ones that I say we, like, I barely help. Ryan does it. He's the star. We gave people these cutting boards, and they're so pretty, but I don't have one of my own because they were so difficult to make that it was like, okay, we made enough for everybody's gifts, and that's it. This knife is so dull. Ryan usually sharpens my stuff. He's got this like Tormek sharpener, but he had his shoulder surgery, so he can't do any of that right now. That's how I cut my peppers. I used to be huge on food waste. Again, like, I'm not in a commercial kitchen anymore. If I want to throw out this little bit of my pepper, fine. I just put it in the compost pile, or I use it for soup. Like, it's not going in the trash. But this is all like bitter anyway, according to Gordon Ramsay. So, cut up my peppers. I feel like this is so, see, I did it the old way. I guess I'll just do it like that, because now I'll show the difference. Like, now I've got to go in here, cut towards myself, cut the seed out. Now I'm just going to throw it out. And so, yeah, it's like a little less waste, but now I've got seeds on my cutting board. I made a mess. I didn't look as cool. I don't know what I was saying. I really am so all over the place. I'd be surprised if anybody really follows through with this, but yeah, so back to my, I guess, cooking. Now I love to cook at home, and I just cook for Ryan and I. And family. I host Thanksgiving. I do a huge Thanksgiving feast and Easter. So I feel like going to school was so worth it, because I got the experience and can like run a kitchen if I wanted to. I have a backup career, so like go trade school. And I can cook at home. It's nice. It's not stressful. Like, I do breakfast, lunch, and dinner for us, and some people think that's crazy. I wake up every morning. My husband wakes me up because I cannot get myself up, and I make breakfast. And most of the time, I don't even eat breakfast, but I like our time because we have our coffee together, and usually I'm grumpy, but then I wake up and get a little happier as the morning goes. And I make his breakfast, you know, eggs and bacon or whatever, it's switches, omelets, and then I pack his lunch for work, and then I come home and I make dinner. Hey, don't chase after your sister. The dogs and the cats. And some people say that's like traditional trad wife. I'm not, because if I don't feel like cooking, I just go get something. Like, I don't have to. It's just easier. Like, he works at least 60 hours a week. So if I'm home at 2 or 3, well, the least I can do is just whip up dinner. So I do all that kind of stuff. And I like it. And I went to school for it. So why would I not do it? Rambling again. But yeah, so I don't know what else to say regarding that. I got my peppers cut. I got my onions cut. I think I'm going to use a jalapeno too. Look at how pretty. Love the color. And, oh, so Trader Joe's. Love this place. Never, like, went. I thought it was super expensive and not in my budget. Turns out it's very affordable, and everything's good so far that I've tried. And they have like so many things that makes it easy to cook a nice meal. And like, I got this sauce. Now I don't have to make chimichurri sauce. And I got this salsa, so I don't have to make salsa. Like, this looks so good. And the beans, there's nothing gross in them. So, I love that place. So tonight I'm trying the chimichurri. And I got my chicken there. So, we'll see how it is. I just started eating jalapenos. Again, gloves come in handy because you don't want to get this in your eye. Like, do not rub your eyes. The seeds are where the spice is, so I take that out because there's going to be enough heat with all the other stuff I have, and I'm kind of a baby with it. Growing up, we had, like, typical Irish, like, we don't have flavor. We use barely salt and pepper, and we boil it. So the fact that I can eat jalapenos now, wild. So I cut them up like super small and use them sparingly. And I always think they're gonna be super hot, and then I'm like, oh, I should have used more. I like them. I think I'm just gonna do half. It's gonna be plenty. I would change out my cutting board if I was going from meat to veggies, but I'm going from veggies to meat, so that's fine. I'm just gonna cut that in half because I like my chicken thin. And I've learned too that the chicken really does swell up a lot. So I cut it smaller than I think I'm gonna want it. And I'm just gonna do like little strips. I'm gonna cut this up and then we'll start seasoning it and start cooking. All right, so we have chicken all cut up now. I always try to keep a clean hand and a dirty hand. So this hand's clean. I've been using it with the knife. I'm going to take this glove off. So now I have two hands. And open the sauce. And I'm going to coat this and marinate it. And what I'll do is cook the onions and peppers first. So I decided while I was waiting for my cast iron to heat up, I got that going with some olive oil. I like using the cast iron because it gets them nice and, like, I don't know, I like it charred kind of. I'm gonna do fajita bowls because I feel like they have substance and they're not messy, and you save on carbs even though I'm adding rice. Like, I don't know, I like this stuff. It's good, it's easy, it takes 10 minutes. Makes it simple. So I'm putting my onions, my peppers, my jalapenos, my chicken's marinating. I don't have a fan, so it gets smoky in here a lot, and my dog hates the smoke detector. I also hate when I watch stuff and they don't scrape the bowl. So scrape the bowl, Destiny. Then I get jalapeno in my eye. Again, I'm saving this bowl because why am I going to use another dish when this just had raw veggies in it that were washed? So we're going to cook those up. I'm not going to bore you with that. I just want them soft. I don't like my veggies to be crisp. Ryan doesn't like his veggies to be crisp or like have a bite to them. So I like them soft and kind of like clear and translucent. The only thing with the cast iron is I can't flip it cool because my wrist hurts. Now I have to clean up the stove, but I always do because I make a mess every time I cook. So I'll let those go. So that's how I like my peppers. I'm going to take them out now, and then now that the pan has all that seasoning from here and the flavor, I'm going to cook the chicken. This is to that sizzle. I got my chicken in the cast iron. Let it cook till it gets nice and brown on one side, then I'll flip. Smells really good. All right, that's it. Nice and brown, that's how I like it. It's flavor, and the olive oil makes it so good. See, nothing's stuck to the pan. And I'm just gonna cook some minute rice. All right, so all I did was I heated up some corn and some beans in the pan that I had used, get the seasoning. Did my rice, that was 10 minutes. My chicken's all done, so now you just build your own bowl, and it's really easy and really good, so. And that's all she wrote.